Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to my tarot table. My name is Ginger of Tarot by Ginger, and I'm going to do an intuitive tarot reading for the consciousness of Aquarius for June 2025. Yes, believe it or not, for all those Aquarians out there, we're going to see what kind of energies are basically happening for you right now for the month of June. I'm going to pull a card from the Sacred Forest Oracle, and this Oracle deck is about energy, so energy portals. So let's see what energy portals are opening up for you. All right, my guides are here now. That's the important part of the reading because they give the best info. They give the best info. Okay, let's see. For Aquarius for June 2025. What do they need to know? Okay, Spirit Guardian of Spring, activation. Well, that kind of makes sense. Something's activating. Let's see what we have. It's card number 36, and numerologically, that would be 9, the end of a cycle. So that's what's activating. I'm gonna guess. The end of a cycle is activating. Something new is, which means something new will begin. Okay, 36. Okay, do not hesitate. The time is now. Take action. It's okay if you are hesitant or even afraid. Face the fear and do it anyway. There are times to pull back and think carefully before every action, but this isn't one of those times. Forge inward, forge forward with courage and certainty. A new beginning awaits you. So the new beginning, beginnings are not smooth, right? There's always something happening to because if there were not unknowns in new beginnings, people would be changing all the time. But because there are unknowns, and a lot of people don't like those unknowns. Here they're calling it chaos. You might experience some chaos or turmoil. Is it chaos and turmoil, or is it, I don't know what's coming next, so I'm just going to trust the process? That's what I'm saying. Don't allow any upheaval to disrupt your forward movement. Be courageous and forthright. Make your decisions swiftly and with confidence, and then act on them with steely resolve. I think that once Aquarius makes up his or her mind, they have a steely resolve. Okay. Okay, big changes. Big changes are ahead for you, Aquarius. That's kind of exciting. I kind of like that. Now I'm using the Druid Animal Oracle deck. Says working with the sacred animals of the Druid tradition. Now, I've had this deck for a long time, and I used it a couple of times when I first got it, probably around 2020. And for some reason, I didn't like it, but I picked it up today and I said, I love the artwork. What was it about this deck that I didn't like? And you know what? I couldn't find out. I couldn't find what it was. So I'm using it. Hopefully the card that I picked for you is not that reason why I didn't want to use it. Let's see. There's some really cool animals in this deck. For Aquarius, what do they need to know for their highest good, for their peace, for their light being, and love? Oh, you have the horse. You have the horse. I like that horse. That horse reminds me of the horse on the sun card in the Rider-Waite. And there's that big sun back there. So let's see what it says about the horse. How will the horse be helping you out? Horse. That's weird. What is there? They're not in, that's kind of weird. Okay. Let's see. For some reason, they're not in alphabetical order. Let's see, horse. Where's the horse? Here we go. Page 122. Must be a reason for that. Okay, here we go. Thanks for your patience here while I figure this out. Okay, the horse. It means each, E-A-C-H. The goddess, the land, travel. Okay, the spirit of each calls us to journey, to travel. This may manifest itself as a desire to travel in the physical world, or we may be drawn to voyaging in the inner realms. She brings us energy and speed and connects us to the power of both the land and the sun. The horse goddess is patroness of the complete life cycle of birth, death, the afterlife, and rebirth. By working with the spirit of each, EACH, we will grow to feel comfortable with every aspect of the life cycle, knowing that the goddess protects and guides us through each of its stages. Okay. Right, travel sounds right for one Aquarian I know anyway, or two Aquarians that I know. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go into the tarot. Now I'm using the Tattoo Tarot this month. And there's a glare on my glasses. It's been going on for the last few days. I don't know what's going on with my glasses, but all right, let's see. Spirit guides and teachers, what do our Aquarians need to know for June of 2025 about their situation? What would you like them to know? How will you be working with them in this month of June? How will you be helping them and guiding them? What do they need to look for? Okay, here we go. Your situation is the Two of Swords. Interesting. Two of Swords. All right, so this is your situation, the Two of Swords. It's interesting that it's nighttime because usually it's the daytime, but there's a big body of water behind this woman, and she's actually sitting on a stone bench. She's got these heavy swords that she's holding up. They're heavy. Swords are heavy. Actual swords are very heavy. She's got a blindfold on. The moon is in a certain cycle behind her. It's eclipsing a bit the sun. That's what's happening there. Yes, this is the moon right here, and the sun. This is the whole sun behind it. So the moon is eclipsing the sun. So she's got her back to her emotions. She doesn't want to deal with her emotions. The water is kind of calm. The emotions seem to be calm on the surface anyway. It could also be that maybe you don't want someone in particular to know of your emotions, but emotions are something that can really affect us if we don't express them. However, in a healthy way. And maybe that requires initially kicking and screaming, punching a pillow, or jumping for joy with excitement because something really, it's your emotions are so overjoyed. It could be that, but there's something here you don't want to talk about. It could also be that you have plans and you're not interested in receiving input from anybody around you. You're like, okay, these are my emotions. You're sitting in front of these are my emotions. They're not any of your business. I am making a decision here. I'm wearing this blindfold because I want you to know I'm not paying attention to you. And I'm blocking my heart because this is not about you, it's about me. So there may be people you don't want to, who are often wanting to give you advice and you're not asking for it. So let's see which one it is. That's your situation. What crosses you for good or bad? Oh, the beautiful Empress. Well, I'm going to say you can't go wrong with the Empress, right? She's creative. She's completely abundant. It's sacral chakra stuff. The sacral chakra is sexual and creative, beautiful energy with the Empress. She has everything. She's very grateful. That's very important. She's very grateful. Notice there's a bluebird on her shoulder. I won't sing the song. All right, so you have the Empress crossing your situation. That's awesome. Okay, you have the Seven of Swords at the bottom of the reading in the place of why is this reading taking place in the way that it is? So there's a thief here. We got a thief at the bottom of the reading. So something's going on. There's a thief. Horse. All right, we're going to see what this is about. This person is a thief, the kind of thief that steals things right out from under your nose because it's broad daylight. She's leaving Gotham with all of your stuff. She can only carry 5 of them. She's leaving 2 behind. So she's taken off with what she can get. Let's see what else this means. What else is we've got here? But that is the reason the reading is taking place and playing out in this way. It's setting up the responses and reactions that we're going to see coming up. Okay. We have the Four of Cups. Self-pity. Four of Cups is like self-pity. Everybody has, but I'm sitting here all alone, sad and lonely and bored. Everybody's having fun. Meanwhile, you have 3 cups upright, they're full. You have another cup that the divine is just bringing into you. Here you go. Here's another cup for you. Do you got room for it? Do you have room for another cup? So you're missing something that is really joyful for you. You're missing something. You're thinking you're sad and lonely and bored, missing out on something, but you know what? You're not. You are in a time where you just need to keep your ideas, your decisions, your emotions here with you because you're in a place where you're working through things. You're working through things. And you know what? That's a lonely time. That causes us to feel lonely. But that's a spiritual kind of lonely because when we're working things out, we're working with spirit on these things. And you're working with spirit on these things that you're trying to work out for yourself. So it's not that you're really sad and lonely. You might be feeling it, but that's not the truth of it. So that's in your recent past. At the top of the reading, we have the card that points to the outcome. So this is the Nine of Wands, and it's called, a lot of people call it the Wounded Warrior card. This guy has fought to hold on to his boundaries, to hold on to what belongs to him, to set his boundaries and to maintain those boundaries. And sometimes boundaries, some people just don't get it. Sometimes people just don't get it. And that could have something to do with this girl. Now, this is typically, this Seven of Swords is usually a guy, sneaking in, stealing. It doesn't matter. It's a feminine energy here. It doesn't mean it's a woman. It's just an energy. But you seem to have somebody who's messing with your boundaries. Maybe. I think so. And what did I just get? And there's this video about the honey badger, and it's really funny. It's this guy talking about how the honey badger just doesn't give a shit. This girl just doesn't give a shit. This person just doesn't give a shit about your boundaries. I wonder who this is in your life. They don't care. You know what? This person, in her circle of people, she's a big shot. But in your world, I don't even know what she's doing in your world, Aquarius. She does not belong in your world. So I'm not sure how she's coming in here. Well, let's find out some more. But you're getting kind of tired of having to set and reset your boundaries. because you're not letting go. You're not giving up. You're not letting go. Okay, in the near future, we have the Queen of Cups, emotional maturity, love, joy, being really, 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 really happy. And the people around you, because of that, you attract those kind of people. So this girl has no place here. Okay, so in the Celtic cross, these cards, the cross part, are your situation and all the energies involved in creating this situation. Hmm. This is your situation. Got the Emperor crossing you for good. The Empress, I mean. You know what? Sometimes there are times when you just don't need to talk to people about certain aspects of your life because they're your business. They're nobody else's business. That's what I feel like this is. Feel like, you know what? This is has nothing to do with you. It's not your business. I'm working something out. I'm a mature adult. I can do it. That's what I do. I work it out for myself. I figure it out. Hmm. Seven of Swords. There's thievery. There's bad vibes here, low vibrational stuff here. I don't know what she's doing here yet. But she thinks she's all that. This person thinks that she's all that, but really, she's sort of like, the the mafia consigliere who thinks, he's something, but he gets arrested too. He can be arrested too, and he's not your guy, he's not your buddy. She's not your buddy. I don't know who she is. All right. In the recent past, we have, you're feeling sad and lonely, but I really think it's the loneliness, not sadness, the loneliness of working through something that has a spirit that is spiritual in nature, something about yourself, because it brings you this emotional maturity. If you stick with it and go through it, it brings you this emotional maturity. All right. And at the top of the reading, and this points to the outcome, is you setting your boundaries and getting kind of tired of it. All right. So here we go. Now we're going to do the column. So we have your energy is the Queen of Wands. Wow, two queens. Queen of Cups and the Queen of Wands. So the queens set the environment. Queen of Wands is really, she is mysterious. She's beautiful. She's charming. She's charismatic. She knows she knows what's going on. You don't need to tell her. She knows what's going on. She knows things. She just knows things. And she doesn't need to talk about it. She just knows things. She's highly intelligent. She doesn't take to people like this in her environment. Yeah, those people, yeah, that we're not going to have any of that here, is what she would say. Um, she, it's not reversed. If it were reversed, it would be seriously negative, heavy duty ego going on, but it's not. She's more spiritual. She's the Leo queen. She's more spiritual. She's a spiritual seeker, a healer, a guide. She's kind of a guide and mentor to people. She's could be your best friend. She could be your best friend. She's very loyal. So this is a really nice energy, and it's in your energy field right now. It's, within you, within your spirit here. So that's kind of interesting because she would not be putting up with this. All right, next card, the energy around you in your environment. Nice, the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands has a lot of energy. Unlike the queen is mature. He might want to rush in and rescue the damsel, or, you know, get rid of this energy without being asked first to do it. You know, oh, I thought I was helping you. No, that's really not, I didn't want you to do that. I wanted to do this a different way. But really good-hearted about it. They do things out of the goodness of their heart. They're very passionate. They love people. They love to help people. And they're also mysterious, wands. You have these leaves growing on a branch that's not even connected to a tree. So there you go. That's your mystery. All right. Next. Ooh, baby. Ten of Swords. I think that this is this person here. She took one too many. I'm not sure. So the Ten of Swords is the card, and I've said this in other readings. This is the most nasty Ten of Swords I have seen to date. So the Ten of Swords is depicting someone who has done themselves in. And how do they do themselves in? Well, they could be alcoholics, they could be drug addicts, they could be gamblers, but they could also be a person who does not set boundaries. And over, people like this take advantage of that person. That kind of stuff will do you in. It can kill you, because it certainly kills your spirit. But I have the feeling that this belongs to the seven. So let's see what the outcome is. We have the five. Oh, heartbreak. This is actually grief, grief. Grief. The Five of Cups, grief, grief. What do we have grief for? Grief. Okay. The Knight. So we've got all these really nice cards, except for these two. And then grief is not terrible because it's a process, but why the grief? Hmm. Hmm. Actually, I think it's this person's grief. I think because she's thwarted, that she's not successful, but I'm not sure what she's trying to do here. She's trying to disrupt your life in some way. She's being disruptive and not really, she wasn't invited to your game, you know what I mean? So what is she doing there anyway? But so she's a disruption. And because of this, she's grieving. Because you know what? The Ten of Swords is, the Ten of Swords is, look, I'm offering you, it's like Spirit saying, I'm offering you a new beginning. The sun is rising. Get up and get help for yourself, because you can't, when you're like this, you can't fix it yourself. If you could, you wouldn't have 10 swords in you. Okay. So this person needs to get help, whatever kind of help they need. And then we have this, which is, this points to this outcome. And if this having to set boundaries has to do something with this lady, I mean, they kind of look similar. You're getting kind of tired of having to set these boundaries. It's like, what do I have to do to get you to understand? Um, it's not necessarily a woman either. Because you know what, you've got plans. What I want to say is, you have plans, Aquarius. You have plans, big plans. You're happy. You're doing things. You're living your life. You have plans for your life, and your plans, you're working on those plans, and they're happening. It's happening for you. And that's what this spiritual work is. That's what all this spiritual work is. Because, in order to do that thing, you have to grow up. You have to be a mature adult. You have to grow up and do these things that are not always fun. But here comes this person who kind of wants to rain on your parade. But more than that, because this person can be kind of damaging, as you can see. Look at what they do to themselves. Um, I'm gonna pull a couple extra cards. I'm just gonna pull a couple of extra cards because I'm not really getting I have the story that I have so far, but I'm not. You have the activation card here, you have the horse card. I mean, really happy stuff going on here. The activation card is telling you, you know what, you just go. That's what this said. People may get in your way, try to get in your way, but you just go. That's what it said. You just do what you know you got to do and forget these people. Forget these naysayers. Forget people who are telling you you can't do what you want to do. Oh, there you go. She's trying to steal that energy is trying to steal your resolve. That could be it. Let's see. Let's see. Why is this person here? Let's see. Why is this Seven of Swords here? Is this what do I have on? Am I kind of close to why it's there? Let's see. King of Swords, strategy. Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting. Why is this card here? What's going on here with this person, this thief, who's stealing something right out from underneath your nose? So you're the air sign here. Here's Aquarius. You're busy with your strategy, your life plan. You've got a plan. You're busy strategizing to put your ducks in a row. You're collaborating with others to get this life plan going. Say, all right, say you want to start a new career, you go to college, you start as an intern somewhere, you're doing that work. This is that kind of plan. You want to get married. So you do the internship and then you work a couple of years at this company. And then, if we're going to be a CPA. And then once you do that and you get into a higher position, then you get married, you buy a house, you get married. Collaboration, that's collaboration. And then kind of taking a look at it. Look at that, all that coin there. You cultivated all that coin. You're saying, I did a pretty nice job, didn't I? So that's where you're going. This energy here is trying to block you. And what's happening is, look at the hands. I'm not quite, the hands are really, I mean, that's just wicked brutal. But at least this person goes to, it's sort of like you're watching a casualty happen right before your eyes because, it's like you're watching a movie. And then because you do stand your ground and because you know what, you move on. I don't know, this person is just like, they kind of messed themselves up. They didn't mess up anybody but themselves here. You're not playing their game. They're playing this game and they think you're playing along, but you're not. Okay, let's see what else we have here. I want to know about that Five of Cups. King of Pentacles. Oh, yeah, baby. King of Pentacles. Oh, the Sun, honey. The High Priestess. Wow. I wonder if you have I wonder if you have someone you used to date or go out with or maybe an admirer because I feel like that's who this is because you know what, this is your life. You're not paying any attention. It's like you don't even know this person exists because your life is like going down a completely another path. You're building up money you're saving up your money to buy a house or whatever. The sun is shining on you, man. You're doing good work. Guys and gals, you're doing really good work. You're trusting your intuition, and that is what this card says to do. Spirit guardian of spring. Look at the little sprites. That's so cool. What a beautiful card. So you're following your dream. I don't know who this person is, but I bet you do. I bet you do. And you know what you do for a person like that? You just wish them the best, because you know what? It's sad. It's sad to have that, be on that, be the person behaving like that. It's not a happy situation for them, but not your fault. It's what they choose. I'm going to choose you one more card, Aquarius, this is called the Sacred Creators Oracle. Let's see, one more card to close this up. Ambush fear with your ferocious dream. Right on. Ambush fear with your ferocious dream. Love it. Thank you, Aquarius, for joining me. If you are enjoying the readings, please like the video and subscribe. I'm trying to grow my channel, and I would appreciate it if you enjoy them, if you would subscribe. It's for free and for fun. And I wish you the best in June. Looks like you're on track. You're on the road to somewhere great. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.